practice, the negotiations of the sale and purchase of a land is done by the parties, which are the vendor and the purchaser, via the principle of freedom to contract, and this is automatically governed under the Contract Act 1950. When both parties have agreed to their terms and conditions involving the sale and purchase of the said land, the role of the solicitor is important as to ensure that the process is executed in accordance to the law and also to protect the interests of both parties.
Good morning, Miss Nina Rose. I am Nik Norazreen, your solicitor. Thank you so much for contacting me. Is there anything I can assist you with today?
Good morning, Miss Solicitor. Thank you for contacting me. I need your service for the conveyancing process here.
May I know what kind of property you would like to purchase?
I am interested in purchasing a piece of land at Klang, Selangor. I have forwarded to you via email the copy of the title of the property as well as an appointment letter to officially appoint you as my solicitor.
Duly noted, miss. Allow me a moment to look at the email. I see that this land is a Malay reserve land and it is subjected to a charge. But fret not, miss. I will assist you in purchasing the land. May I know how would you like to pay?
I intend to pay the property by cash and have no problem paying the 10% deposit of the purchase price.
I see. Well, thank you for your information. I will conduct a few searches. If there are any more information, I shall give you a call.
When the fiduciary duty is established, subject to Section 384 of the National Land Code, the purchaser may conduct a land search to check the latest status of the land to avoid any unpleasant surprise. Purchaser solicitor may at any time during the office hours, subjected to the prescribed fee, go to the land office to inspect the document. This is important as to make sure that the land is free from any restrictions of interest as provided under Section 340 subsection 2 of the National Land Code, free from any restrictions of dealings as provided such as charge under Section 241 subsection 1 or private caveat under Section 322 subsection 1. Next, insolvency search is crucial to ensure the parties are not barred from being registered as owner and satisfies Section 43 of the National Land Code. The effect of not conducting insolvency search is proven in the case of Abdullah A.B. Rahman and Siti Aminah, where transfer by a bankrupt is considered as a fraudulent conveyance, hence is null and void. Moving on, for site inspection, the purchaser solicitor will advise the client to conduct site inspection to avoid any possibility of scam.
Hello, Miss Nina Rose. Thank you for taking your time to come to my office. So here are the documents that I have prepared. There are 4 documents in total that you need to execute. This execution process is a requirement under Section 210 subsection 1 of the National Land Code, and you may do so by dropping your signature or thumbprint. But fret not, Ms. Lina. I shall first explain to you what are the documents that you need to execute in order to move forward with this transaction. First is the sale and purchase agreement between your good self and the vendor, Mr. Azli. Prior to this meeting, I have sent this copy to the vendor solicitor to be vetted. This is the fair copy for you, and you may put down your signature on 2 copies of this agreement. Next is the Memorandum of Transfer of Form 14A. According to Section 215 subsection 1 of the National Land Code, an instrument to transfer any alienated land shall be affected by this document. However, since the land of your interest is a Malay reserve land, this Memorandum of Transfer needs to be signed and attested in front of a land administrator. Therefore, Ms. Lina, we will set a date with the vendor in order to attend the land office together and to sign this Memorandum of Transfer in front of the land officer's officer. Next, there are 2 documents that need to be sent to the Inland Revenue Board, namely Form CKHT2A and Form CKHT502. The Form CKHT2A can be referred to the Purchaser's Tax Form under the Real Property Gains Tax Act 1976. This form is required to notify the Inland Revenue Board of your purchase. On the other hand, Form CKHT 502 is a form required for the payment of retention sum. This payment is required under Section 21 B of the Real Property Gains Tax Act. For your case, miss, your retention sum will be 3% of the deposit. I have calculated that your deposit will amount to 25,550 ringgit, thus your retention sum will amount to 7,665 ringgit that I will pay to the Inland Revenue Board. Last but not least, pursuant to Section 323 Subsection 2 of the National Land Code, in order to protect your interest on the land prior to receiving the issued document of title or IDT with your name on it, you are advised to execute Form 19B, which is to lodge a private caveat on the land. You should also sign a statutory declaration alongside this. Once the transaction is successful, I will then submit Form 19G in order to withdraw the private caveat. This is in accordance to Section 325 Subsection 2 of the National Land Code. This document will be sent along together with Form 14A or Memorandum of Transfer. On another note, Ms. Lina, I would like to inform you that you have to pay a deposit of 10% from the purchase price, which is 25,550 ringgit before we can proceed with the transaction. Will that be alright with you?
Yes, I'll transfer the money now.
Hello, Ms. Lina. I would like to inform you that I have received the 10% deposit, which is 25,550 ringgit. I shall retain the 3% retention sum of 7,665 ringgit to be paid to the Inland Revenue Board. As for the remaining deposit of 17,885 ringgit, I have paid the amount to the vendor's solicitor. Next, I already lodged a private caveat for the land through Form 19B, which comes together with the statutory declaration and prescribed fee. Hence, Ms. Lina, you do not have to worry as your interest over the land has now been protected. Hello, Ms. Mira. This is Nik Norazreen, Ms. Lina's solicitor. As per our email conversation, I just wanted to inform you that I have sent the duly executed sale purchase agreement for your further action.
Hi, yes, Miss Nik. I have received the documents. Alright, sure. As soon as I have my client executing the document, I shall revert to you the duly executed documents.
Thank you. Oh, I also wanted to remind you, once your client has executed the documents, can you please provide or forward to me the redemption statement from Maya Bank?
Oh, yes, sure, Miss Nik. I will write to Maya Bank to request for the redemption statement. Hello, Maya Bank. This is the solicitor for Mr. Azli, Miss Mira. As spoken to your officer earlier, I have written and submitted a request for a redemption statement for my client's property. My client wants to sell the property and the purchaser is going to buy the property by cash. Therefore, once the redemption statement is ready, do forward the statement to me for further necessary action. Thank you.
Upon receiving the full payment of balance purchase price from the purchaser and obtaining the redemption statement from vendor solicitor, purchaser solicitor shall make payment of the redemption sum to the vendor's bank, and upon this may submit private caveat in Form 19B. Once the bank has received the payment, the vendor's bank solicitor shall forward related document to purchaser solicitor. The documents are 1. Form 16N duly executed by the vendor's bank. 2. The original IDT. 3. Prescribed fees. 4. Paid or updated quick rent and assessment of the property. The purchaser solicitor shall then go to the Inland Revenue Board to submit Form CKHT 2A and CKHT 502, as well as the retention sum of 7,665 ringgit on behalf of the client. Together with the forms, a copy of sale and purchase agreement shall be attached as well. Purchaser solicitor shall then submit Form 14A for adjudication. After that, purchaser solicitor will receive notice taksiran from the stamp duty office, and the purchaser solicitor shall then pay the stamp duty for Form 14A. After payment has been made, a stamp certificate shall be issued. The calculation of the stamp duty is as below. The first 100,000 ringgit is 1%. Next, for more than 100,000 but not more than 500,000 is 2%. Therefore, from the purchase price of 255,500 ringgit, The amount of stamp duty that need to pay is 4,110 ringgit. Once all the documents has been obtained, which are duly executed Form 14A, duly executed Form 16N, Form 19G, Original RDP, Sale Purchase Agreement, Quick Rent Receipt, the purchaser solicitor shall submit these documents for presentation at the Land Office in pursuant with Section 293, 294, 301A and 306B of the National Land Code. Purchaser solicitor shall then conduct a final land search and release balance purchase price to the vendor solicitor, as well as requesting vacant possession of the property. The new IDT will be issued by the Land Office and purchaser solicitor shall forward this to the purchaser.